Howdy everyone, I'm back at it again. It's a beautiful spring day here in Minnesota. You know, one of my favorite things about this time of year is the crappie fishing. And that's what we're going to try to catch today. We're going to see if we can catch a few with the $5 crappie kit from Walmart. Now these are made by Ozark Trail. Basically they're great value brand of camping and outdoor equipment. I've tried a few of their other lures. They're kind of hit or miss. I was really impressed with their hollow body frog. But for $5, it doesn't look like a bad little kit. I mean, it comes with a couple bobbers, some hooks, jigs, an assortment of plastics. So yeah, we'll see if we can catch a few crappie with that Ozark Trail crappie kit. Get her opened up. Actually, I'm going to drop my anchor here so I don't drift into the shoreline. Oh, well, nice quality packaging there, I guess. So it comes with a pretty decent assortment of plastics. I think I'll probably mostly stick to the brighter colors like the whites, chartreuse. Maybe I'll try this pink. The water in this bay I'm fishing today is a little bit muddy, so I think those brighter colors will probably work better. Just dig through there a bit. See what kind of stuff we've got in there. We've got some curly tails, some little fluke looking minnows. I don't know, whatever these guys are called. I think I'll probably start out with one of these little white and chartreuse guys. Stick that there. I'm going to grab one of the bobbers out of that kit. And I think I'll go with one of these jigs. It looks like probably about a 16th ounce jig. I'll try to put the lid back on that so nothing blows away out here. So that's the game plan for today. We'll try to catch a few crappie with that Ozark Trail crappie fishing kit. I'm gonna get these guys rigged up and we'll see if we can find any crappie roaming around this bay out here today. Get that guy tied on. Get my bobber rigged up. I'll probably leave about 1.5 feet between the bobber and that jig. Uh-oh. Is the bobber even working? Oh, there we go. It was just kind of jammed up in there. Yeah, I haven't used one of these types of bobbers since I was probably about 5 years old. I'd much rather have a slip bobber tied on, but when we've only got about 1.5 feet of line underneath it, not a huge deal. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that kit said crappie kit and not panfish, because I think everything in there would be a little bit too big for bluegill, at least the size of bluegill that we have around here. So there we go. Got my jig all rigged up with a plastic. My bobber set up on there. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't catch crappie. But we'll fish our way around with it. Usually the tough part is finding them, so we'll see if we can find them. So usually I'll find those crappie on the windy side of the bay, which is why I'm over here in the chop. It does help bounce that bobber up and down. Maybe give that plastic a little bit of action. A little auto jigging. Ooh, that looked like something gave it a bite there. Oh yeah. Oh, I got one. Oh my gosh, that was not a crappie at all. looked like I had this fish hooked in the mouth too. I don't know if we're gonna get this guy in on 6-pound test, but I'm gonna try. Oh, right up here to the net. Come here, you. That's a big old carp. He actually ate that plastic too. I've got him hooked in the mouth. Well, this is not what I was expecting for the first catch of the day. Oh, my buddy Jacob is going to be so excited. He was hoping I'd catch a carp the other day when we were out here. Oop. I almost felt like he just shook it there. But nope, he's still on. Jeez, that is a huge carp. I kind of wish I would have brought my big net. But I wasn't really expecting to catch much bigger than a crappie out here today. Well, we're on the board. I can't believe that carp actually tried to eat that thing. Yeah. I don't even think I'm going to try to pick him up. We'll just let him swim out of the net here. And of course he'll splash my leg on the way out. Well, that was fun. All right. Now let's see if we can find a crappie. Is my bobber down? Oh, looked like it was down. Well, what is going on with this bobber? Well, that is no good. About 10 minutes into this fishing trip, and my first bobber is already taking on water, it looks like. Oh yeah, that thing's about 3/4 full of water. Well, a bobber that doesn't float is no good. Luckily, the kit came with 2 of them, so I don't know. We'll see if that one was just a fluke or if they're both complete junk. I don't know, maybe that carp was just too much for that bobber. I mean, they really don't feel like the highest of quality bobbers. I mean, look how crooked that top piece is. We'll toss it out there and see if it floats. And it should for at least a few minutes. Oh yeah, I can see that one much better. I was having a tough time seeing that other one, I'd imagine, because it was starting to sink on me. Well, unfortunately, a few casts later, and it looks like this other bobber is having the same problem, where it's filling up with water and starting to sink. Yeah, this one's already half full of water. I gotta drop my anchor to stop my drift here. Well, unfortunately, the bobbers that Ozark Trail supplies with that crappie fishing kit are total junk. So, at least for the bobber part, I think I'm gonna have to switch over to a slip bobber just to keep it up on the surface. Because both of those other ones started sinking on me. And if your bobber is barely floating, it's really tough to tell if you've got a crappie down there just lightly nibbling at your rig or not. But we'll throw on a slip bobber and continue fishing with the plastics and the jigs that came in that kit. Alright, I got my slip bobber tied on. That's a little bit better rig than those cheap little red and white bobbers anyway. Just because it'll slide up and down the line, give you a better casting distance when that bobber can slide all the way down to the end like that. Plus that yellow is just a little bit easier for me to see. Oh yeah, I can see that just plain as day over there. The other ones here, I was squinting like, do I got a fish nibbling on that thing or what's going on? But I think really those bobbers were just starting to sink on me. Well, I fished my way around this bay that I started out on for about an hour. I covered probably half the shoreline. There is one little spot over there where I found crappie in the past. I was going to start out over there, but I started on my first attempt at filming my video intro and I had a boat pull up about 10 feet away from me, so I kept paddling on for a little ways. But there is another little bay through this channel here where I've caught crappie in the past too, so we'll paddle over there, check that one out. See if anything is swimming around in there today. I don't know, I might just have to wait them out another hour or two. I got out here at about 10:30 this morning. Usually mid to late afternoon when the water temp warms up a few degrees, that's when those crappie are the most active. Plus, we had a thunderstorm roll through here about an hour before I got out here today. See that big snapping turtle there? So anyway, as far as the fishing go, those crappie might be a little bit skittish from that storm still, so I might just have to fish around for an hour or two. Look at this big old snapping turtle. Hey there, buddy. Jeez, that is a monster. Alright, I got sidetracked there, but we'll keep paddling our way over to that other bay. See if we can find any fish in that one. Well, I made it over here to the second bay. Still looking for that first crappie bite of the day, though. I don't know, it might be one of them kinds of days where I have to spend a few hours just covering water, trying to find them. But that's all right. It's a perfect day out here. Oh, there's something. What do we got here? It's biting. More like a bass than a crappie, I think. No, it's a crappie. And that one wasn't fooling around. I've had a couple little nibbles, but this one came along and he yanked that bobber right under. Yeah, that's a nice crappie for the first one of the day. Got him on that little white and chartreuse. I think that's called a Jake minnow. At least that's one of the varieties that said on the back of the box. Nice. We are on the board for crappie. Not gonna be just carp today. Well, it took a couple hours to find that first crappie, but the first one is always the hardest one to find. A lot of times they're schooled up where once you find one, you can kind of keep fish in that same area and hammer them pretty good. We'll see if that's the case in bay number 2. we got here? I might have snagged a carp. I don't know. I was just going to twitch that bobber and I caught something. It's feeling kind of carpy. Oh no. I mean, not that I don't want to catch fish, but I'm pretty sure I snagged this one. Never know, it might be a big pike or something. I think it was a carp. Yep. Well, that's kind of crazy. I figured I snagged this one, but he is definitely hooked in the mouth. Off to the races. I'm just gonna put my finger on that and try to stop it. I'm running 6-pound line on here, so I can't exactly horse this fish in. Well, that's the second carp of the day that's actually tried to eat that plastic. I don't know. Walmart, you might have to rebrand this fishing kit as the carp fishing kit. Well, at least we got one crappie in the boat so far. We do know the crappie like that plastic as well. He's running. I don't mind catching a couple carp at all, especially when the crappie bite has been kind of slow to start out with today. Let's hope I can get this guy in. Yeah, he's way over there. He's probably like 100 feet over that way. I can see my line going into the water way over there. Yeah, we'll wear him out eventually. Should make for a nice long video at least. I mean, it is kind of a fun fight on this light setup though. I mean, it's not an actual light setup. It's a 5'9" medium power extra fast action St. Croix Legend Tournament walleye rod, but I'd say it's more like a medium light. It's by far my lightest medium action rod. Yeah, I really like this setup for crappie though. This rod is about perfect for those 11, 12, 13-inch crappie. I'm running an Abu Garcia Revo MGX 20 size reel. And like I said, 6-pound line. I've got just regular old trilene line on there. All right, we got him close to the boat again. It's kind of the riskiest spot though, as far as breaking off. Not much line to stretch and absorb those head shakes. Let me see if I can get this guy in my net when I get a good look at him again. he's not too happy. Alright, come on up here, you. Jeez, I want to land this fish so I can get back to crappie fishing. Well, I will say these carp do put up a pretty good fight. One shot at this, and we got him. Jeez, look at that carp. Got him hooked right in the mouth there. He actually tried to eat that thing. Two carp, one crappie on that little guy so far. Yeah, not a bad fish. I'm just gonna do like I did with that first one. Not even try to take him out of the net and get all slimy. Back to crappie fishing. This one feels more like a crappie. Oh yeah. Nice crappie. Look at that. Beauty of a fish. Another one on the white and chartreuse plastic. I'll probably try something different after this fish. I'll get a quick length on this one. It's about a 12-inch crappie. Yeah, that's a slab right there. Beauty of a fish. Well, we caught two crappie and two carp on this white and chartreuse plastic. I think I'm gonna pull that one off and we'll try a different one. I mean, for catching 4 fish, it seems like it's held up pretty well. It's got a little tear there where one of the legs is getting close to falling off, but all in all, not too bad for a cheap little plastic. So like I mentioned earlier, the water is pretty muddy in here, so I'm gonna try to stick with brighter colors today. Oh, that green and pink might be a good one. I think I'm gonna try one of these little chartreuse and blue flake curl tails. And toss that guy on this little jig here. All right, we'll see if we can catch a couple on that one. We'll let one sit over here for a few minutes. Trying to listen in. There's a couple boats back here behind me. They're talking to each other a couple minutes ago. It doesn't sound like they're having much luck out here either, so I don't think it's me or the Walmart fishing gear. I think the fish just aren't real active out here yet. But we're finding a couple. I usually do best on the more choppy side of the bay, like we're sitting in here now. It's nice because that chop will bounce my bobber up and down, give my jig a little bit of action without me having to do much. And I will pop it or slowly reel it in a foot or two at a time sometimes, but honestly, this time of year, those crappies, sometimes they seem like they like that lure just sitting in front of their face for a couple of minutes before they bite. I catch a lot of fish just letting it sit out there. It looked like something just gave it a little peck over there. I don't know, maybe my eyes were just playing tricks on me. There's one. Thought I saw my bobber twitch a little bit about a minute before this fish pulled it down. Wonder if it was the same one. Come here, bud. Nice little crappie on that chartreuse curly tail plastic. All right, we're finding a few. I'll toss it right back over there where I caught that one, just in case the school of them is over there. I don't know, I haven't had much luck finding an actual school of fish today. Unless there's just one fish willing to bite per school, maybe. There's one. Oh, I was gonna say he's staying down. Is it another carp? Nope, it's a crappie. And a nice crappie at that. Look at that. Another slab. Get out my pliers to get that guy unhooked. All right, second one on the little chartreuse curly tail. Probably try something else after we release this one. Catch you later. Time for a new plastic. All right, let's see what else we've got in here. So I believe they called these ones the baby shad on the box. There's a few different colors of those. I kind of like the green and pink one. I think that pink will stick out in this muddy water. Oh, that one's kind of bent a little bit funny. Oh, so was that one. I think there's only, maybe there's a third one. That one looks nice and straight. It's tough to get this on camera and actually see what I'm doing, but just trying to run that hook through there straight. That looks good enough. We'll see if we can catch a couple on that plastic. I suppose I don't even know if I showed you guys the back of the box, but it's a nice little diagram on how to tie a Palomar knot, and it also lists everything that the kit includes. It says 10 krill tail minnows 8 Jake minnows, 12 baby shad, 2 size 4 hooks, 2 split shot, 2 3/4 inch floats, and 4 1/16 ounce unpainted jig heads. So yeah, a decent little kit for $5. I wish the floats that they included weren't complete garbage. That's probably the one thing that'll stop me from recommending this kit, or at least if you do pick it up, maybe grab yourself a couple of slip bobbers like I've got tied on here. You don't want to go out with just the 2 that are included in that kit, or it's going to be a real frustrating day. But other than that, I mean, it's not a terrible kit. It's a decent selection of plastics in there and a good variety of colors for different water clarities. Here's one on that green and pink baby shad. Decent little crappie. It's probably the smallest one I've caught today, but it's a crappie. Nice. What is that? Number 5, I think? I'll probably try to catch one more. Then it might be about time for me to call it a day. I'm going to try to get back to town early enough to have dinner with my family tonight. I'll try to keep to the old 9 to 5 schedule. Hey, if the fish allow for it, I'll take it. I just know once bass and pike are in season, I'm going to be out pretty much all day long fishing. So I'll try to get home and spend a little bit of time with the family when I can. Oh, I just got bit right over there. Pulled it under. He just gave a little pop right when I set the hook. He must have let go. That's right. We're going to toss him right back over there. There we go. I got him a second time. And it looks like a crappie. Really shouldn't be surprised. That's about all I usually catch back here. Those 2 carp I caught today were kind of a surprise. Nice, look at that. Another one on the green and pink baby shad plastic. Beautiful crappie. All right, you guys, I think that's going to do it for today's trip. I'm just paddling my way back over to where I parked my truck. It was a fun afternoon out here in the kayak, though. We caught a handful of decent crappie, a couple of unexpected bonus carp. So yeah, I enjoyed it. My final thoughts on that $5 crappie fishing kit from Walmart. Well, for $5, it's not a terrible deal. They give you a good selection of different colors and types of plastics, and they seem like they're decent quality too. I mean, none of them that I caught fish on really got too tore up. You get 4 jigs, a couple of split shots, a couple of hooks. I just really wish those bobbers that they include with it weren't complete garbage. It'd be really nice if they put a couple of slip bobbers in there instead. But I can't complain too much. I mean, we caught a half dozen nice crappie with that kit, although I did have to replace the bobber with one of my own. So yeah, if you go pick up one of these crappie fishing kits, definitely get some different bobbers, or else it's going to be a frustrating time. Luckily I had one of my slip bobbers with, so I replaced it with that and had a decent day of fishing out here. A few different of the plastic varieties that come with that kit. This was a fun day out here on the water. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for coming along with me again. I'll see you next time.